All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, Jolting Joe, and this is the Jolting Joe Sports Show coming to you here on Thursday, April the 28th. Sorry, I went a little Howard Cosell there. April the 28th, on the first night of the NFL Draft. All right. What are you drinking? What are you smoking? First of all, haven't tried this Rocky Patel. This is an Rocky Patel LB1. Just fired it up. Actually, pretty damn tasty, if you ask me. A little bit of a tight draw. Might have to loosen it up here. What do you put that down? What are you drinking? Got some really good whiskey here. All right. This is Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye. It's actually the rye whiskey. There you go. And this is actually really damn good. If you like rye whiskey and you want to drink rye whiskey straight, Jack Single Barrel. All right. And I'm going to pour a big healthy glass of this. There you go. Or like I said, I'm going to pour we'll start small. We'll see what happens here. All right. And so, cheers, everybody. Bottoms up. Oh, that's good. It was really, really good. Man, I love that. All right. How y'all doing today? All right, let me pull up my my list here on my phone. So what to cover today? Got a few things. Got a few things here this week. Alrighty, let's see here. All right. Tell you what, let's start. Let's go ahead and start with the with the NFL draft here now. Got my Space City hat here for the Astros, and got my Roughnecks jersey going here. But let's start with the NFL. Let's start with the NFL draft. I'm also going to pull up the Athletic here, which if you don't have a subscription to the Athletic and you're a sports fan, get a subscription to the Athletic. It's actually absolutely worth it. And let me just go through the Athletic mock draft. We're not going to get too deep into this, but I mean, right now everybody goes because the draft's tonight. All right, first round of the draft is tonight. Jacksonville's expected to take Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. He's the overall consensus number one. And then it looks like Detroit in their mock draft, Kayvon Thibodeaux from Oregon. Texas expected to take offensive tackle Evan Neal. I've also seen them try to take a cornerback too, so we'll see what happens with that. I got them taking a corner. I don't know. We'll see. But Texans just need a lot of they need a lot of stuff. 96 for the Jacksonville's too to have an edge rusher because you got your quarterback and everything. They just need, and they got a good coach now with Doug Moran, so they should be okay. Lions they need a lot too. Texans, they just need a lot. Jets, they also need a lot. Projected to take Imke Ekwonu. I butchered that. But anyway, offensive tackle, North Carolina State. Giants expected to take Ahmed Gardner, cornerback, Cincinnati. Panthers, Kyle Hamilton, safety, Notre Dame. Giants with another pick, Trayvon Walker, edge rusher from Georgia. Falcons, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver from Ohio State. Seahawks, Charlie Cross, offensive tackle, Mississippi State. Jets, once again, Drake London, wide receiver, Southern California. And the Commanders, and God, I hope this is true. The Commanders... Actually, no, I don't hope it's true. Well, I mean, they could use... Anyway. Sorry, I started having an outer monologue there. Here's the thing. Okay, I'll go through this quick, because obviously I'm a Commanders fan. Most of y'all aren't. I would be happy with an offensive lineman, because we lost Brandon Sheriff. And also, too, I'd be happy with a wide receiver to pair with Terry McLaurin and give a good number 2 option to freaking Carson Wentz. Jesus Christ. Anyway, but freaking Ron Rivera always goes defense, and they don't necessarily need defense, but if they do take somebody, they got him taking cornerback Derek Stingley out of LSU, but I mean, I guess I'm okay with a corner if you're going to take defense, but I really want a wide receiver or an alignment. That's really what Daddy wants. Okay. Number 12, Minnesota Vikings, James Williams, wide receiver, Alabama. Then the Texans again at number 13, Jeremiah Johnson, edge rusher, Florida State. Ravens, Chris Olave, wide receiver, Ohio State. Philly, Trent McDuff, cornerback, Washington. Saints, Treylon Burks, wide receiver, Arkansas. Chargers, Devin Lloyd, Utah. Philly again, Tyler Linderbaum, OC, Iowa. And then we've got Pittsburgh, Malik Williams, quarterback, Liberty, which that makes sense for Pittsburgh taking a quarterback. That's not a good quarterback draft, but makes sense for them. Right now you got Mitch Trubisky for crying out loud. New England Patriots, Jahan Dotson, wide receiver, Penn State. Green Bay Packers, George Karlaftis, edge rusher, Purdue. Cardinals, Andrew Booth, cornerback, Clemson. Cowboys, Jordan Davis, D-line, from Georgia. Buffalo, George Pickens, wide receiver, Georgia. Tennessee, Christian Watson, wide receiver, North Dakota State. Tampa, Zion Johnson, offensive guard, Boston College. Packers, Sky Moore, wide receiver, Western Michigan. Chiefs, David Oboho, edge rusher, Michigan. And then finally, Kansas City with Kaiir Elam, cornerback, Florida. Bengals, Kyler Gordon, cornerback, Washington. And then Detroit, again, gets the pick, Kenny Pickett, quarterback, Pittsburgh. That would actually not be too bad if Detroit could get a quarterback. Jared Goff's probably not going to be the long-term solution in Detroit. Good idea for them to draft a quarterback. So that's draft talk. All right. Hopefully your team does what you want them to do. Hopefully they draft who you want them to do. Like I said, since we're here in Texas, Houston, they do a lot. Anything that they take is going to be good. And like I said, me personally, Commanders, really like to see an offensive lineman or a wide receiver, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, if they do go defense, I'll be okay with a corner. You get plenty of D linemen, you got plenty of E rushers, you got linebackers, whatever. All right. Man, that's really good. All right, I know I've said that already, but anyway. All right, so there's draft talk. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Like I said, first round's tonight. And where is the draft? Is the draft in... Shay, where is the draft tonight? That's a good question. Let's see. NFL Draft 2022 is going to be... Oh, yeah, that's right. It's from Vegas, because Vegas got... they couldn't have it in 2020. It was supposed to be in Vegas in 2020. Then, of course, pandemic happened. And then the draft was from at home. So, yeah, Vegas. So that'll be a fun time. There you go. But it's, Thursday through Saturday. And I know we got the first round today. And then tomorrow, I think, is 2, 3, 4. And then Saturday, 5, 6, 7. I think is how that's going to roll. Not 100% sure, but there you go. And once again, the mock draft I just read out, that was, from The Athletic. Real quick, let's see what ESPN has, and then we'll do this. And then we'll get off the draft here. Let's see, trade rumors. Let's see, draft orders. Oh, yeah, there's, okay. Oh, shit, I thought that was not the right article that I did. Okay. Fuck it. I think that's about it. Some people are really into the draft, some people aren't. It's cool. We'll just kill it there. All right, good deal. All right, let's talk about the NBA playoffs, shall we? That'll be next topic of conversation here. All right, once again, let me pull up, because I'm not going to lie to y'all. All right, I haven't been watching the NBA playoffs. I did see Ja Morant's dunk, though. We'll get to that, which was unbelievable. Oh, sorry, little joke there for you. Okay, here we go. Because I don't even know where the hell we're at right now. Okay. Let's see, because I know, let's see, all right, Milwaukee, they close out their series, they win 4-1. Warriors close out their series with the Nuggets, they win 4-1. Raptors, 76ers tonight, Philly leads that series 3-2, so Philly can close that one out. Suns, Pelicans, Game 6 tonight. Once again, Suns can close that series out. They're up 3-2. And then once again, Mavs, Jazz, they're up. Dallas up 3-2. They can close out tonight as well. Game 6, Grizzlies, Timberwolves tomorrow. Memphis is up 3-2 in that series. And then, let's see here. And then Eastern Conference semifinals is going to be Bucks, Celtics. Celtics won theirs, and then So they'll be so they're in already. Yeah, so that's going to be the semifinals, and then I guess they're still waiting on the East, but somebody else clinched. Boston's in. Boston clinched. Um, who the hell else clinched? Let me go back. Boston clinched. Milwaukee clinched. Were those the only two that clinched? Oh, and the Heat clinched. Miami, that was the other one that clinched, and Miami clinched. So 3 teams in the East have clinched. All right, so there you go. All right, and yeah, if you didn't watch, John Moran had one of the most vicious dunks I've ever seen in my entire life. It was phenomenal. It was a posterization, if you will, just a monster dunk. And Moran's not that big. He's only about 6'2", and boy, howdy, he got some air, and he flew, and he just tomahawked that some bitch down, is what he did. And so it was really fantastic. So once we get closer here, hopefully I'll actually catch some games, but just with baseball going on and draft coming up and everything, I haven't been watching the NBA playoffs, so for you NBA fans, I'm sorry, I apologize. I should be doing better. Right? I should be doing better. All right, so that's draft talk, and we'll clear that one off. All right, then we're gonna spend the rest of the time here on the on Major League Baseball. 3 different topics. Hmm. All right, number 4 or number 1. Let's start with this past weekend, and this is not all Yankee fans. All right, some of y'all are decent human beings. Most of y'all are decent human beings. Okay, and I get that. And I get there's assholes in all fan bases. All right, no matter what park you go to, there's going to be an asshole that's going to say some shit that he shouldn't fucking say. And I know it happens in every ballpark. But Philadelphia Eagle fans are probably considered the worst fans in football because they've booed Santa Claus. They cheered Michael Irvin when he got hurt and damn near broke his neck. They have thrown snowballs. They have thrown batteries. It's just a violent fan base in the city of brotherly love. And then basketball, probably Celtic fans, because Boston has a tendency to be a racist place. I know a lot of NBA players have been called a variety of names in Boston, especially back in the 80s with the Lakers and the Celtics and that rivalry being as big as it was. So Celtic fans have a tendency. Also, Utah Jazz fans have said some shit in the past and have gotten a little, crazy. But for baseball, Yankees have got to take it, man, because there's too many stories of opposing fans going in there and getting beer dumped on them, and food dumped on them, and fights starting and things like that. Now you're going to get in a fight in Dodger Stadium, but Dodgers, and a lot of times too, Dodger fans fight with each other, but it doesn't get really bad unless it's Dodgers Giants. And Dodgers Giants, all bets are off. Those two teams hate each other with a capital H, capital A, capital T, capital E. All right. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing in Cleveland, where we're with Cleveland with Straw, guy runs into the fence, he's caught up, they start yelling at him, you're milking it, stuff like that when he's hurt. Straw had hurt enough. He goes up there and says, hey, you hit me. That's what I thought. F you, fuck you, and everything else. And then after the Yankees come back and win the game, they start throwing bottles. I mean, in props to the Yankee players, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, they come out, they try to tell everybody knock it off. All right, but I'm just saying, yeah, Yankee fans, those folks did not do y'all any favors the other day, all right, because of all the other stories that have been told between what they do not only to opposing players but to opposing fans. All right, and like I said, every fan base has got assholes. But it seems like those fan bases for football, baseball, and the NBA seem to kick it up a couple notches there. All right, you see what I'm saying? All right. So, just Yankee fans, calm down. It's okay. It's just a baseball game. All right, it's just a baseball game. We're fine. Everybody fine. Everybody calm down. All right, it's just a baseball. All right. The other baseball-related story that we had was freaking Angel Hernandez, the umpire. All right. Um, so Angel Martinez. Now, Joe West finally retired, but Joe West was notorious for getting calls wrong and being fat and being out of shape. Angel Hernandez is probably the worst umpire in Major League Baseball. His strike zone is all over the goddamn place. All over the place. The fact that he keeps... How the fact he's still an umpire is beyond belief. I have no idea. And I don't know how that works, to be completely honest with you. Now, I know the umpires have their own union, but I don't know if the umpires are contracted, like players are contracted for X number of years, and then their contract gets renewed, or if it's once you hit the big leagues, you're a big league umpire until you retire. Like, that's just your job until you decide to leave, like it would be if you had any other job. Whether, you're working at the grocery store and, you work your way up and become, manager, or you make a career of working at the grocery store, or you're working on an assembly line and you're working for, up there in Detroit on the assembly line and for Ford, and that's what you do for, 20, 30 years. I take it that's how it is, that umpires don't necessarily have contracts, that they just get called up from the minor leagues and then they become a major league umpire. I'm not sure what the process is to get rid of a major league umpire, to be completely honest with you. I haven't really looked into it. Probably should. Ooh, I'm going to have to aerate this cigar because that's a little tight even for me, and I like a tight draw. All right, hold on one second. All right. Go ahead. Aerate her out. All right. So for your non-cigar smokers, you got a tight roll here, or for your novice cigar smokers, you got a tight roll. You're having a real hard time getting a draw. You take this little tool. It's called an aerator, right? And you're just going to stick that into the cigar here and just kind of make a little, basically, hole down the middle of the cigar and just kind of loosen that up a little bit. And damn, that is tight. All right. Ooh, that's better. All right. Yeah, I think it was tighter than a virgin on prom night. Tell you what, Jesus Christ. All right, but yeah, loosen up a little bit there. That's good. That's what we're looking for. Okay, back to Angel Martinez. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know how you get rid of a major league umpire. If they're just there until they decide that they're going to retire, or what the deal is. But Angel's bad, and it was Phillies Brewers on Sunday Night Baseball. Angel Martinez is behind the plate. And at least he called it evenly for both sides. He was all over the place for both sides. So at least, the only thing that's consistent about Angel Martinez is his inconsistency. But anyway, so there was some really questionable balls that were, strikes that should have been balls that you could tell were off the plate, just even without the damn box on the TV, that you could tell were outside, all right, or high or low. And finally, Carl Schwarber had enough of it, and I think he'd already made up his mind that he was going to get ejected. And he gets rung up on a pitch that was I think it was up in the zone. It was definitely a ball. And he throws his bat, throws his helmet, turns to Angel Hernandez, and I know no more sooner than Schwarber turned to Hernandez that Hernandez ejects him. And Schwarber just starts gesticulating with his hands, and he's all like telling Angel Hernandez, he's like dangling the plate, and he's like, you can't see. I think after the game he said, or maybe you can read his lips, he said that a Philly cheesesteak could see better than him with Schuerber thing. And then Schuerber, as he's walking off the field, he told the crew chief, he's just like, and you can read his lips, he's just saying, all night, both sides, all fucking night. So, but Schwarber was saying that he was fucking up for the Phillies, and he was fucking up for the Brewers, that neither one were getting any calls. And oh man, it was freaking gold, man. If you ever just want to see a player just completely just go off without, it was great. It was just something out of a movie. It was very much just, what are you do? Where's the strike zone? You called it up here. What the hell? Oh, it was fantastic. It was the greatest thing I may have seen as far as umpires go. But yeah, he got ejected, obviously, and he was okay with it. He was just like, I know I'm getting ejected. I'm getting my money's worth. So that's what happened with that. All right. And I think I'm going to have to pour a little bit more whiskey for this conversation. Yeah, give it a little splash there. All right. Now, ooh, yeah, we need a little bit more too. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, let's take the last 10 or 12 minutes here to talk about the Yankee letter. All right. Now, here's what I'm going to say first. Why did the Yankees try so hard to keep this letter from seeing the light of day? All right. They appealed this thing. Major League Baseball appealed this thing. The Yankees were saying it was going to cause irreparable damage to their reputation and to the reputation of baseball. And to be completely honest with you, it was incredibly, especially as an Astros fan, underwhelming. All right. That wasn't exactly nothing like dumbass Jeff Passan was saying. All right. But it was underwhelming. Basically, our suspicions were confirmed. The Yankees were illegally using the dugout phone to relay signs to their players. All right. Now, I will say that they were relaying signs to the players, and then that way when they reach second, that they could then easily decode the sign. All right. But here's the thing about this, okay, because the Astros got busted for stealing signs electronically. Okay. Now, we'll get into the difference here in just a second. But the Astros got busted for using electronics to steal signs. But what the Yankees did in 2015 and 2016, okay, before the Astros, and by the way, the Astros played the Yankees in the 2015 wild card game in which the Astros won 3-0. So if the Yankees were stealing signs in that game, they weren't doing a hell of a good job about it, or if they were, they just couldn't hit Dallas Keuchel because Astros shut them out. All right, and there was 3 more pitchers in that game, 7th, 8th, 9th. All right, and so it was Tony Sipp. I know Luke Gregerson closed it out, and who was the other? Was it Will Harris? I think Will Harris pitched in that game. All right, so they just couldn't hit it even if they were stealing signs. Okay. Now, it was illegal. All right, so what they did is they were watching the monitor in the replay room. Okay, that's where the electronics come in. Okay, they were using the video replay booth to see the signs, decode the signs, and then give them to their players. They would use the dugout phone to go from the replay booth to the dugout, and then they would tell them, hey, if the catcher throws, throws a 3 down, that's the slider, or whatever, the catcher's doing with the, 2-1, wiggle fingers, whatever. If he's doing this and this, it's a slider. And that way, when the Yankee runner got on to second base, he could see into the catcher, but he wouldn't have to decode the sign himself. He would see it, know exactly what was coming, and he could signal to the batter what was coming. Okay? But they still stole signs electronically using the replay room camera. Okay? All right. They did that in 2015 and 2016. That's what the letter says. The only thing that we didn't know is that they got fined. They got fined $100,000 for that. And then the Red Sox were basically doing the same thing. They were using the video replay room to steal signs, and then they were using an Apple Watch to tell the runner at second base what was, what the signs were. So they were using the Apple Watches for that. So the Yankees said the Red Sox are cheating, and baseball found out they were using the Apple Watches. And then the Red Sox said, well, the Yankees are cheating too. And that's when they found out about the dugout phone. And that's when Manfred issued his letter in September 2017 saying, knock it off. Okay? All right. Now, Carlos Beltran, who in the Manfred report on the Astros sign stealing scandal from 2017, said that Carlos Beltran was basically the ringleader, along with bench coach Alex Cora, now the manager of the Boston Red Sox. All right. Now, Carlos Beltran was in New York in 2015 and 2016. He comes to the Astros in 2017, and he's the one that says, y'all are way behind the curve when it comes to sign stealing. And then he's the one that introduced the trash cans. Now, were all the Yankees doing, was that all they were doing was using the dugout phone? Now, the baseball found no evidence that they were using a center field camera, which is what the Astros were doing. There was no evidence of that. But did the Yankees just not get caught? Or were they seriously not using it? Because like I said, when Beltran gets here, Beltran's the guy that does it. All right? So he's with the Yankees, and then he comes to Houston, and then they start up. Now, what the Astros did was similar to what the Red Sox and the Yankees were doing, with a couple of exceptions here. All right? Now, number one, what the Red Sox and Yankees were doing is they were decoding the messages in the replay room. Now, the Astros, they had one. They were using the monitor that was there in the clubhouse, kind of in the hallway of the dugout. Okay, and that was a live feed, which was the TV feed. Okay, and the TV feed camera angle is from center field. Okay, and so they're using the TV feed to look and decode the messages, and then they're doing it in real time. Whereas the Yankees and Red Sox, they were not stealing signs in real time. All right, they were saying, hey, we're going to give you this information. We think we got it decoded. They'll take an inning or two. They'll be like, hey, okay, we think we got this decoded. And then they would let the players know. And then when a player got to second base, then he could tip off the batter of what was coming. Okay. Now, normally that's how sign stealing works, but you have to decode it yourself. Okay. And then you can tip off the batter. Sign stealing is as old as baseball. Okay. But the illegal part of this is using the electronics to do it. Okay. Kind of like the Giants did in, was that 54, when they were sending, when they were using a spyglass, a telescope to steal signs, okay? So that's what the Astros were doing it in real time, okay? So, which is more egregious. And then the Astros cut out the middleman, all right? They were like, man, we're not going to wait for a player to get to second base. What we're going to do is we're just going to take a massage gun and we're going to bang, we're going to hit it with a trash can. And if you hear the massage gun hitting the trash can, then it's a slider. And if you don't hear anything, it's a fastball, all right? So they just cut out the middleman, all right? And then, of course, the other thing the Astros did is they didn't stop after the memo, okay? And so, Astros deserved everything that they got, right? They deserved the fine that they got, the draft picks that were taken away. They deserved all of that, all right? But everybody nationally is kind of like soft pedaling this with the Yankees and the Red Sox, all right? And saying that, everybody was doing it, which that we already knew too. Okay, that there were other schemes out there, that other teams were trying to steal signs. Everybody was trying to keep up with each other. The Astros just took it a little bit further. All right, you can say that the Astros just cheated better than the other teams because the Astros were doing it in real time, and then they were signaling the batters from the dugout rather than waiting for a runner on second base. So that's kind of the big thing with that. But like I said, they were told to knock it off. They didn't. They got caught. They got busted. All right. Now, really what the Yankees Yiller does is it shows you how bad of a commissioner Rob Manfred is. Because I will say, I'm not, trying to get the Astros off the hook here, but I'm saying that from a leadership standpoint, if you're the commissioner of baseball and you know that all 30 teams are stealing signs and they're doing it this way, how do you not call? He sent out a memo, okay? Whatever. But how do you not get on the phone the player reps for the union and the general managers and say, this has come to our attention. You got caught doing that. I'm not going to punish anybody right now. Y'all knock it off. But if you get caught after this, we're gonna drop the hammer, right? And that's why the Astros got the hammer dropped on them. They went on beyond the Manfred's thing, okay? And then for the Astros, I'm pretty sure Jeff Luhnow knew about it, the general manager, and then he just didn't convey it. And how do you not convey it? And then also, too, A.J. Hinch is at fault, too, because he could have stopped it, and he didn't. Of course, AJ's got his job, managing Detroit. And then Cora got his job back with the Red Sox after a year. So, really, I just went back. So, the point is, though, is everybody, like I said, the Astros deserve their punishment. They should have been punished. But everybody was cheating. The Astros just were cheating a little bit better and a little bit more. All right. But the thing about it is all three teams, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Astros, were all cheating electronically using cameras. All right, when it boils down to it. And so basically, if three of us are sitting there and we're taking a test, and one guy's got the answers written on the bottom of his shoe and is looking at it, and then one guy's using his phone to look up answers, and then one guy's got an earpiece in and is getting answers from somebody in a truck, all three people are still cheating. Is the guy with the earpiece worse than the other two guys? Maybe. All right. But everybody was still cheating. All right. It's still cheating. And to slow play that and to say, oh, that, well, they know everybody was doing it. It's like, well, that's what Astro fans have been saying. Everybody was doing it. And now that when the Yankees and the Red Sox get busted for it, now y'all are like, well, everybody was doing it, so it's okay. Come on, man. Come on, national media guy. Come on. All right. But like I said, it does not absolve the Astros of any wrongdoing. No, it doesn't matter if everybody was doing it or not. Manfred said, knock it off. They didn't. They got caught. They got punished fair and square. Okay. It's just that for us Astros fans, it's kind of like, hey, glass houses, y'all. Don't be throwing rocks at glass houses, because we all know that y'all were doing it too. All right. That's just our only thing. All right. So everybody was doing it. Okay. All right. Well, that half hour flew by. All right, y'all. Enjoy the NFL draft tonight. Enjoy the NBA playoffs. A little day baseball on today, too. You can find me on Twitter at JJ Sports Show, or at JJ Sports Show 63. That's at JJ Sports Show 63. Once again, enjoy the draft. Have a good time. Enjoy some day baseball. And we'll talk to you again next week. Cheers, everybody. And we'll talk to you soon. All right. See y'all later.